So thank you for downloading episode number 12 of Gamify 24/7. Please give us a like and please give us a nice positive review, or otherwise don't. But either way, thank you for listening, thank you for downloading, and welcome to episode 12! Yay!
Episode 12 team, the best episode to ever come out.
It's been another big week in the gaming world then, folks, and I spent it trying to catch up with Shaun on Zelda, and I won't talk about Zelda for any other part of the episode.
Did you catch up?
I've played a lot of Zelda, but not as much as you have by any means. But I
have no idea how you're up there.
I'm starting now to really, not just enjoy it, really enjoy it, and I'm finding it difficult.
Really
enjoy it. It's at the stage where I'm now sacrificing doing adult things because I'm trying to find Zelda time. So thanks.
This last week. This is exactly what Kat was talking about. Yeah, I can't make it tonight to your very important birthday party because I'm doing something like washing my hair. Maybe I don't know. Zelda.
Yeah. That's been pretty much it. Kat, you picked up Persona 5. Have you had a shot yet?
I did. I have. I think I'm about, I say I'm about 6 hours in because that's what my saved game tells me, but it doesn't feel like that because I'm pretty sure I've only done about 2 days of school and I don't really know how that's happened. I think I'm just I'm really keen to try and find everything, but because it's so close to the start, they're trying to ease you into it. It's really obvious they're trying to ease you into it. So they're not letting you do all the things I thought they would let me do at this point, just because I'm so used to the previous game. So I want to do the whole dungeon, but it won't let me. They're called palaces in this one, but it's not letting me. It tells me when I have to leave and stuff, and I'm kind of I could go more. I could go further. Yeah. I'm too cool. Yeah, but I got my first question at school right, though. I was proud of myself. Just out of my own knowledge and educated guess I took there to do with philosophy, and I got it right. So everyone in school was like, oh, maybe this kid isn't as bad as they all thought. And I was like, exactly.
We were going to get Persona 5 and stream it on Friday night, but Connor couldn't get it, so we couldn't stream it. But there's also lots of rules and regulations.
I was going to say, I think there's a lot of stuff.
You can't do it.
A lot of streamers and probably YouTubers have been getting quite annoyed at it because
they've totally
I think, is it Atlas who've had the problem or is it somebody else?
I think it's Atlas, and they said that they've got really strict guidelines. You can't show this much of the story, you can't show that part.
It's a lot of it. You know, you can stream on the PlayStation naturally.
The block
Yeah. It comes up now and then in normal games. It'll come up in the corner saying recording has been paused because obviously you can save recordings of games. Just it automatically will record 30 minutes of gameplay and you can just save it yourself. But it does every cutscene pretty much. It comes up saying the recording's been paused because
I can get around that. Don't worry about that stuff.
But you don't want to annoy the game.
I want to annoy Atlas if they're going to start blocking people from sharing their game.
Trying to get people to play it, I guess.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Sega's publishing this.
Is it Atlas the Dead?
Sega, maybe.
Yeah, I believe that's the relationship there. And it's kind of a bit scary because Sega's kind of been building a bad history of claiming stuff on the internet. Because do you remember when they announced, I think it was the last Phantasy Star game, and they were taking down videos of the old game, claiming people's videos, so when they uploaded their trailer, it would go right up to the top.
Talking about that, I did actually register all my Nintendo videos, so all the ones we've done in the past, I did register them with the Nintendo Creators referral thing through YouTube, so I don't think I'll get any money for them, but I thought I'll officially do the Nintendo ones, because before they used to have it where you had to register your full channel. So even if you did only one video on Nintendo and you wanted to monetize that, you had to do the whole channel. I said, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm covering other platforms. But now you can do per video as well. So I'm just doing per video. So I've put them in, and a bunch of them have been accepted. But I don't know if I've made money on them or not. But YouTube just brought out that thing, didn't it, for creators? If you're under 10,000 views, you can't get monetized. Which is going to affect a lot of people, gamers. Anyway, we're not here about YouTube, we're here about video
Saying
games.
that, in the long run, it's probably better because it'll help weed out the kind of more
crap people.
Yeah, and that way advertisers will be more keen. Oh, don't worry, I'm there
I'm
too.
pointing at myself right now.
Oh, sorry, I think I'm crazy, sorry.
No, I'm
So,
pointing
yeah.
at myself, weeding out the crap ones like me who don't upload new videos. Yeah.
Same here, rep. No video club. So.
Anyway, yes,
Video
Michael,
games.
sorry, we hijacked that simple, is Persona good question. Yes, it is good so far. I'm going
Good.
to keep on going with that.
I won't lie, I'm so
Excellent.
close to buying Persona 4 Golden. I'm going to do
Just
it.
do it, just
and
do it,
then-
guys. We'll all have a good chat about
you've
that
got to
next
do
week.
that, Anton. That's like not even a question. You know, just
No.
just get on that. Get on that. Okay, so we have just had the 13th British Academy Games Awards. And it happened just last week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through I'll run through the winners because it won't take that
Okay.
long. There's not that many of them, and then we'll talk about it. So let me just do that first. So we have Artistic Achievement
You
Award.
have to do the voice, sorry.
Our-
You have to do it.
That was so good.
I
It's
missed
a
it
staple
because
of
you
the
couldn't
last
do it
episode.
I'm
last
not
time.
sure if I can do this. Okay, the Artistic Achievement Award goes to Inside. Come on, that's pretty good, right? Can I do the rest of the normal
Yeah,
ones?
I like that.
I agree, yeah.
Game Innovation, That Dragon, Cancer. That's far too cheery for the title.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to
yeah,
say,
it's
that's that really
achievable.
sad one.
It is. And do you know what? It's well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think Game Innovation, I think that's probably as appropriate an award as that game would get. I think so. I think that's pretty fair. Audio Achievement is The Last Guardian. Mobile Pokemon Go. Best Game Uncharted 4. Multiplayer Overwatch. British game Overcooked, which I'll mention in a minute. Music Virginia. Debut game Firewatch. Narrative was Inside Again. Not Inside Again, but Inside Again. Evolving game is Rocket League. Original property Inside. Family Overcooked. Two more to go. Performer was Firewatch, and game design was Inside once more. So, some good, I think some pretty appropriate results and some pretty fair ones too. I was quite impressed with Overcooked getting British Game because it's brilliant. And Rocket League Evolving Game, I can kind of understand that, and certainly Overwatch would be a popular choice too. What's your guys' thoughts?
Okay, can I just clarify something first? Is the awards covering from now 1 year back?
So these would be, as far as I know, they look at video gaming in 2016. I don't think they're counting anything that's happened post Christmas. Let me just double
Right.
check.
Yeah, because I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, but there's been some amazing games came out
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah,
How
so
are they
to-
not even on the list. Yeah.
So what they do is they do the previous year's games. So it's 2016 we're focusing on. Hence there's a couple of games there that you might think, come on now, Pokemon Go, that's like, that's so last year. And it's like that for a few of them. So we
Right.
are looking at last year's awards. But it's a fairly prestigious award ceremony to get a nomination for and to get an award for. So I think it's worth mentioning. What do you guys think of the kind of general way that they landed? Obviously, Inside did very well.
Yeah, I never finished it actually. Whoops. I do have it, and I did start it, and it's really creative the way that they've done things because nobody talks and you don't really know what's happening. It's a side scroller, who's it that made it again? They made Limbo, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Let's play games.
I can't remember at all.
Yeah, I forgot
But
about
yeah, I was liking it, but also it does take a little bit of thinking. There are puzzles and things that eventually the time that I was playing it that one time I was just like, I can't think today, so I'm just gonna put something else on. Like Overwatch, which I wholeheartedly agree with getting that award because I love it.
I'm very glad, like Michael, to see Overcooked get so many awards because I think that's like one of the best multiplayer games we've had.
I
in
still need to
ages.
play it. You
Yeah.
were talking about
Yeah.
it before, and I still need to play it.
Well, we've got the two switches here, so
Yeah.
we're talking about this. Yeah.
Me and Shaun were discussing the idea of in the studio doing a 4-player Overcooked session,
good.
live stream,
Sounds good.
and
Overcooked.
it's going to be awesome on Switch. Can't wait.
Well, put it this way, I played snipper clips with two players, and that was phenomenal, and it was just crazy because you were like messing things up. So I can imagine Overcooked being really hectic.
It sounds
and crazy
really
about that.
good. I
You make
really,
friends
really
and you
want to
make
play it.
enemies in that game. Mainly enemies.
Oh, I'm excited. I would like to play it. I definitely will after this.
We have to destroy Cat now.
What else was there again? Firewatch got a couple, and I recorded myself playing Firewatch. If you have seen that.
I feel quite ignorant because a lot of these games I've never touched, so I feel like I can't really comment on them. and I'm like, no, I don't know if I'd even give them awards. I don't know, because I've not played them.
Well, like Firewatch, and I guess I haven't finished Inside, so I'm not sure what authority I have to say this, but they're quite creative. They're different.
Artistic.
They are artistic, and they're different in the way that they tell a story. Kind of everyone went mad for Firewatch, and so when I got it, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it tells. It's really good at messing with your mind, and it makes you imagine this story that isn't necessarily what's even happening. You're imagining what's happening. It lets you imagine the story, and then you find out kind of the real one, and it all makes sense in a really poignant kind of way. It's really, really good. It's really cool. So
Any game that
agree.
gets words like poignant is obviously good.
Yes.
I feel like a fake gamer when the only list that I played that got an award was Pokemon Go. I'm like, who am I? I need to fix my gaming
video
life.
games like art,
You're one of 65
Anton.
million monthly gamers that plays that game.
I wouldn't go monthly. Don't go that far.
Just a word on Overcooked as well. You mentioned, Anton, how much you love it. I think it's a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. It's very frustrating, but it's also so much fun, and it's very innovative as well, which I think is great. I think it would work brilliantly on the Switch too, actually. I think it'd be a really good Switch game. But yeah, interesting though. The Game Baftas, and it's kind of a shame that they get held in April for 2016. I almost feel like it would be better if it was January, February, and kind of the start of awards season like the movies, rather than now where we've got quite a lot of stuff that's happened, the likes of Zelda, etc. And I think that that is a bit of a shame. You're right, but I guess these things take a bit of time after the end of a year. So moving on then, a couple of releases and reviews in this week. We've got a couple of games and contrasting reviews, possibly surprising on both accounts, I think. Let's look at Snake Pass and Yooka-Laylee.
Oh, that was a perfect opportunity to say, let's take a look at Snake Pass.
I wanted you to spit out your drink there, Mike.
I was very, very, very close. If I can find a tumbleweed effect, it's going in there, honestly.
Snake Pass, yeah, it looks like it's quite good. Looks like it's kind of quite on parity with the other platforms on the Switch and PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and looks kind of unique.
Yeah, I won't lie. See this just little wee session of games, there's like so much coming out, I'm like, I can't make myself want to buy more stuff, even though I want to buy them and they're on my to buy list.
I'm with you.
Hearing good stuff, I'm like, oh no.
I'm with you on that, Anton. Completely with you on that. And it's worse for me, even more so. I'm trying to stop myself buying Switch accessories, and I'm thinking half the stuff I don't even need it. I just want it. And then I'm looking at the PlayStation 4 and I'm seeing, Persona coming out, and there's about 5 releases. Last Guardian I haven't even looked at yet, and I really want to play that. And how on earth are we supposed to find the time? This is not fair.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of things coming out, but yeah, like going back to Snake Pass. I think there's a bunch of games, probably one of the other ones you're going to cover is Yooka-Laylee. Those games have come out, and I think they are going to get overshadowed a little bit, especially on something like the Switch. They're going to get overshadowed. Zelda's just dominating just now, and I think it's going to be another few weeks, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to come out, and that's going to overshadow everything again. But this has been one of these things that people have always said with third parties, it's difficult for their games to get exposure because they get overshadowed by the sheer quality of when Nintendo puts out a AAA game. So, I think they're great there for someone who's maybe completed Zelda or who's not wanting to play Zelda and is just wanting something different on the console. But yeah, I've been on the fence, even though it's only £20, £29 for Snake Pass.
I think it's less than that. I think it's only like 18 or something.
Yeah, it's like, I'm still on the fence, but I'm like, I don't even want to play it. I'm like,
You bring up an interesting point there of games getting overshadowed, because I don't know if you guys have felt this, like, since maybe the PS2 and GameCube era and Xbox original, there's been a death of this like AA game. Like we have the indies, we have the AAA, but over time we're getting less and less of this middle ground.
Yeah.
Like, especially in like 3D platformers. I remember there was tons of like AA 3D platformers or racing games. Now there's none of them. You have like, in the more obscure genres, you'd have like maybe a couple games that are out.
Yeah. I think part of that's companies like EA and who's it? The one that owns Rockstar. What's that again?
Take-Two.
Take-Two. Companies like that buying up all the small devs. If something starts to like get big or starts to do quite well, it just gets bought up.
Yeah.
It gets incorporated into their sort of portfolio. So you're.
Well, yeah, think about like Minecraft, how that was such a small thing at first, and then now it is
Microsoft's got it,
disgustingly big. It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Sorry everyone who likes Minecraft.
Are you getting Sneak Pass, mate?
You know what, I would, and it's a game that I probably would like from the point of view that apparently a lot of people found it quite therapeutic to play, apparently. But I'm finding
That sounds
Zelda quite
nice.
therapeutic, to be honest, you know, in a weird kind of way.
How
And
many times has Zelda been said after you said this is the only time I'm going to mention Zelda, and then everyone started talking about it?
I know,
except
I
me.
know, I know. I know, like,
what?
well, that's the thing. It's just been such a difficult thing because I've been really wanting to look at other stuff this week, but I don't have that many hours to find in a week to play games at the moment. So what I find is that when I do, I try and make them count, but inevitably what happens is I end up just playing a multiplayer or something just because it's easy, you know?
Yeah, that's what I do as well. Just
And that-
half an hour of Overwatch.
Exactly, and it's like, you know, you can go on, you can come out, you don't have to think about it too much, you don't have to remember where you are, but with Zelda it's different, and I don't know why it's different. I think it's the fact that it is so vast, but you feel like, and we mentioned this a couple of episodes back, but you feel like you're achieving something every 10 minutes or so, and you can just go and say, I'll just go and do a tower today, or I'll just go and find a shrine, or whatever. I think that's what's so brilliant about it, is that I can play for 20 minutes, I want to play for longer, but I can play for 20 minutes and achieve something and put it down. Or I can play for 5 hours and get lost in it for the whole time. And it has actually taken over my whole gaming thing this week. So, anyway...
So you're going to say life there.
Yeah,
Back
it's destroying
to-
my
It's
life.
taken
My
over my
family's
life.
falling
No,
apart.
forget gaming life, just my life. So yes, as for Snake Pass, yes, probably. Also, there are other Switch games that I'll probably pick up, but I'm trying to be good because they're going to sit and not get played for a little while, so I'm holding off. But hey, we'll see, probably. Xbox Scorpio then. There's been some more news. What's been happening, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out, they invited out Digitally Foundry, and they're like, hey, here's your console. These are the specs, and they're like, we're just sitting there like, yeah, we kind of knew this. There's nothing new here.
Was it just teraflops again? Because I
Yeah,
missed this.
pretty much.
Oh my
They talked
God.
about like the chips and the RAM and stuff as well this time.
Chips, so many chips. That's all that was shown at E3 or whatever it was last year. It was just pictures of chips and like slow-mo shots going over some chips
Glorious,
and motherboards
yeah,
and
slow-mo
things.
shots.
Wow.
I just find it funny.
Wow.
Funny because like last week they were like, "Hey, on this date we're going to unveil the Xbox Scorpio." We get to the date and they're like, "All right, here's the Xbox Scorpio. It has 6 teraflops of processing and 12 gigs of RAM." And I'm like, "That's not really an unveil."
No,
Admittedly,
you
it's
told us that
it's cool.
before.
Like they shared a screenshot of Forza in 4K.
Whoa!
Well,
Sorry.
That's my thoughts exactly. It's
I don't care
I want
about
to love you,
Forza.
Xbox. I bought the Xbox original day one, the 360 day one, and the 1 day one, and it's just like, I want to love you. Why are you making it so hard? Especially after the title update.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so convoluted. I'm like, please. Anyway, that's enough ranting from me.
I think the stuff that Digital Foundry covered and they showed in depth, quite like they went into it really in depth. You know, it's interesting from a technical, like hardware point of view, seeing that they're refining some of the things that they've already been working on the original Xbox One S and Xbox One. So they're taking those and they're seeing where they had flaws and maybe the bottlenecks, or they're fixing some of the processing side of things, and that's great. I think that's really generally what companies should be doing as just a standard procedure going forward. But maybe a Xbox Slim or PlayStation 4 Slim or whatever. But I just still don't get what they're trying to achieve unless you are a brand new Xbox buyer. What are they really offering you that's above something like a PlayStation 4? A little bit more high-def graphics, running a little bit faster. Who really cares? I think if you're really that into that kind of processing
You just have a
mumbo jumbo,
PC.
yeah, you buy a PC. And I think it's unless they come out and say it's £250, then I'll get one because it's £250 and it's an Xbox, I'll get it. But even then, I'm still going to be questioning in my head, why am I buying this? Because what do they have in it? Another Forza? Who cares? It's just another Forza. Like, what exclusive games do they have? again, it comes back to what we discussed before. The PlayStation 4 has just dominated when it comes to exclusives compared to the Xbox One. And that's what sells the console. You can have the greatest console on the planet, if it's not got the games, it's pointless.
I think the only saving grace for the Scorpio right now is its VR capabilities. Playing something like Fallout 4 in VR without downgrading the graphics in 4K, that's something next level. But the thing is, I don't feel like selling a console that will need to be above £400, then having a third party, not official, headset on top of that. So the headset manufacturer won't be making money off software, so they need to make profit on the hardware of their headset. We're going to be talking like maybe £450 for a headset at the minimum, possibly like £550.
Yeah.
I don't see how a console like that can be successful in comparison to PC.
I noticed this week that the developers are starting to question whether VR is going to be as viable as they first thought because the sales aren't as good as they originally hoped. How do they get people into VR? How do they make it more appealing to the masses? Because I'm interested because I've seen what you guys have done with it, and I've heard what you guys have said about it. We had Rajiv on the show back on episode 2 or 3 who sells it. That's his job, as he goes out there and shows people how it's done. But you know, how do you get the average person interested in VR? And is that the way that the Scorpio is going to go? Because from what I've been reading, it seems like people are starting to get a little scared off developing, or certainly the seed of doubt has been planted.
Yeah.
Well, like for me, I've not got one yet, and I guess the reason for that is
VR you're talking about?
Yeah, for VR, I've not got like a PSVR, which is like the cheapest option really available, and I've got a PlayStation, purely because of the lack of kind of games for it, which it's kind of like a vicious circle here. Like to get people to buy the games, you need to actually make them in the first place. So if people are getting scared off already, it's just obviously it's going to fail because there's not going to be any reason for anybody to buy one, and everyone who's got them is just going to sell them or something. I
don't know. I think it's hit the tipping point. I think the fact that we've got Vive, Rift, and PlayStation VR, and other ones coming from Microsoft and whatever. The fact that we've got all these now, I think it's hit the tipping point where even if it's small sales, it'll just continue to grow over time as the hardware gets cheaper, lighter, we get wireless tech and everything with VR. So I think maybe it might take another 5 years. And I think even like Facebook talked about this during one of their events. They said they still think it's about 10 years away for mass market adoption. And it probably is just because it's too expensive and it's too niche right now. It's only really if you're into your sort of tech stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be people who are more kind of tech focused.
But I think like the biggest problem is, and it's the same issue, and Nintendo got this right with the Wii. They've got the same issue like anything. The Scorpio's got the same issue as well, but the Scorpio is a little bit more deep rooted. You've got the same issue where you need to get people playing the machine to experience it. It's one of these things where once you've tried it, and you've tried something that's a good showcase for that hardware or that tech, you get it. It sells itself. And that's where stuff like you play the London Heist or you play some of the like Resident Evil in VR, you're like, wow, this is awesome. I want to play more games like this. And then obviously it just comes down to the software side of it, if the companies will support it. And I think they will eventually. Like I think Resident Evil, they said that only took a short period of time to get that converted over. They weren't even going to do it in VR, and they'd done it as a proof of concept, and it worked really well that they decided to carry on and make it the full game. But yeah, I think VR, the more hands-on people will get, and the cheaper the tech gets down the line, that'll get more adopted like across the way. The Xbox Scorpio though, I think even if you put that in people's hands, again it comes to, I think people, unless you've not bought it and you're on the fence, you're like, what console do I want and what's going to be future-proofed for the next year or two? And even then, the companies are already shooting themselves in the foot by releasing mid-term releases. So you're going to be sitting there or standing there playing the console and thinking, it's just Forza.
You've got such a problem with Forza.
Everyone hates Forza.
Listen, it looked incredible in the picture. It looked beautiful.
It always looks good because they're like, look at this car, it looks real. And I'm just like, wow, so does one out in the street. Like, I don't care, I'm sorry.
It's exactly that. That's the flaw, is you can take any game and put 4K graphics on it and make it look shiny. It doesn't mean anything. it's got to sell on what's coming in the hardware, and this is what like everyone's gotten about the Switch. Like people playing the Switch, they've moaned about lack of software. I think the Switch is a transformative console. I'll talk about this in Games Lounge Series 3, like in the first episode, you'll see what I say about it. But I think it's a transformative console. I think it's really a paradigm change. But it all comes down to the software now. They've got the hardware, you just need the software. And I think Microsoft's got the hardware, they already had it with the Xbox One S. But they're just not supporting it with enough games, exclusives, and that's why it's failed. And now they're going to give more hardware, but where's the games? It's going to fail.
You should really write them a letter or something.
Get more games.
Angry letter, Angry Gamer 26.
See, the thing is, they couldn't even really do much with the Scorpio and exclusives. Like, because the thing is, the divide in power between the Xbox One and the Scorpio is so big, they're not going to be able to take advantage of the Scorpio's power because they're going to be bottlenecked by having to make it run on the Xbox One. Like, look at the PS4 Pro. Not many games are really taking advantage of that hardware, and there's a much smaller divide because the PS4 is obviously more powerful than the Xbox One, but the Pro's less powerful than the Scorpio, and yet they can't take advantage of the Pro's power because they're being bottlenecked by the PS4's power.
Well, you're getting stuff like the checkerboarding and the 4K upscaling and stuff on some of the games, and that's great if you've got the machine. You're feeling like, oh well, I've got some use out of it. But it comes back to what we've discussed before. If you've already got the original PlayStation 4 or the original Xbox One, why would you even care?
I'm not caring. Yeah,
it's
I'm
like
not
you're basically being asked to fork out for another console that just gives you a slight little bit more, but you're still going to be playing the same games that aren't there.
And as well as that, the rumours are pointing at like a £700 price tag. Even if it was down as low as £500, for an extra £30, you could get a PS4 Pro and like a Nintendo Switch for just like a teensy bit more than that.
Exactly. Well, remember like you and me talked about in Games Lounge Series 2, and I was saying that I genuinely think it's going to come out for about £800, and it's going to just be a PC. And I said, if it comes out for that, then what's the point? It's just a PC. But unless Microsoft does something really sneaky and at E3 they come out and say, here it is, the Scorpio 6 teraflops beast of a machine, look at it doing 4K native, and it's only going to be £299. Then it's got a chance.
Everyone would lose their minds.
But I don't think that's happening. The fact that, like you mentioned, Mike, there's already developers, Square Enix has already said, they're putting more focus on the Switch than they are the Xbox Scorpio. That's a telling sign. I mean, when you've got this beast of a machine that's so incredible, but they're focusing on the Switch. It's like, it's not a very strong show of confidence, you know.
To be honest, I think Microsoft's lying to us a bit because they have a history of it. Look at the fact their treatment of the Kinect all the way through. I think it's a new console completely because it's either a new console completely or they're shooting themselves in the foot.
But the Digital Foundry's seen the machine.
Yeah.
They covered it, they've seen the machine, they played the game. It's like, what are they doing?
Well, one thing we did learn from that is a square console. It's not rectangle. They're
console.
revolutionised.
Well.
Well, not that tall. Just like on the front, lying on the table.
Imagine it comes out and it's just a tower, like a PC tower, and it's 800.
I swear it's a console.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it comes with a mouse and keyboard.
Oh God.
Hey, anything's possible. Probably not, but anything's possible. Call of Duty have decided to expand their franchise even more. What's going on, guys?
Have they? Can someone fill me in? Because on a point of principle, just ignore everything
love Call of Duty, Kat, don't you?
You know I
your
love
favourite. Call of Duty is your favourite.
We talked about this in the first episode.
Yeah, you ranted and raved about how you wanted more Call of Duty in your life, and you wish they would never stop.
Yep.
Well, you're in luck. They're making a movie, but not just a movie. The Call of Duty cinematic universe. Marvel should move aside because the revolution is here.
God.
All of your favourite Call of Duty people, as man with gun and other man with gun.
I know the one of them's called Soap.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Soap with Tavish.
Alright, there you go. I know him because is he not that Scottish actor?
Yeah, he's from up north somewhere.
Yeah.
Elgin, I think he's from Elgin actually, which is about an hour from me.
Soap with Tavish.
So we've got an entire universe of Call of Duty movies
so
coming out.
there's a lot of Call of Duty films coming out now.
Yeah, and they'll all interlink and they'll have their Avengers style movie.
It seems like they're making the Expendables.
Oh god.
Sort of, yeah.
It's just going to be the Expendables.
I don't understand why this is happening now. Like, the Assassin's Creed film kind of tanked, didn't it? Because I heard it was pure awful.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, so what the hell are they doing? Not that they're the same company or anything, I get that. But it's just like, can we just stop
one of the
now?
episodes, game movies. Oh.
I think they're just trying to keep their investors happy, to be honest. They're like, hey, the Call of Duty franchise is not failing. It's making more money than before.
What age rating are Call of Duty games?
18.
Are they 18?
I think there's one or two of them are 16.
16 to 18. What age rating is this film series going to be? Probably like a 12E?
Probably.
So this is what it really is. It's like trying to get all the little kids involved who aren't legally allowed to play Call of Duty, but we all know they do.
Call of Duty, the movie starring Soap McTavish. I don't know what the rest of them are called.
Nobody knows anyone else's name, sorry.
They might have an audience for it. That's the worrying thing about it. There might actually be enough
all
people that watch this.
Well, dude bros, I'm sorry.
Well, that's true. But you can almost see this like just scraping by as a kind of straight to DVD thing for a while, you know, and probably making, if they do it that way, they'll probably do it on a budget that makes it look really bad, but people will buy it because it's a collector's thing if you're into Call of Duty. I can just see it almost working and just, you know, for the next 5 years getting more releases like we do with the games. They're the FIFA of shooters, but like not as good, you know?
Maybe it'll come with a bonus moustache. Maybe you get that in the box, it's like a bonus pre-order gift.
Yeah, I'd be up for it then. If there was a bonus moustache,
I was
I'm in.
thinking like McDonald's are going to have toys.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can't.
It is like a fear, like Michael's saying. It's like, look at how many Resident Evils they got away with. And that's not like as big as a franchise of Call of Duty.
No, but also, I didn't like the live action Resident Evils, but I did actually like the animated ones.
Yeah, I heard they were quite good
They
actually.
are actually good.
Totally not game related, because you're talking about zombies there.
Oh, we can't do that.
But it's just a little bit off topic. I just want to mention because it was actually amazing. I watched a film called Train to Busan. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a zombie film. I think it's Chinese, a Chinese film, but it's English subtitles, and it's brilliant, really, really good. This is kind of what World War Z should have been, so I recommend checking it out. It was just because you mentioned Resident Evil.
Oh, we're
such a good film.
off on a tangent
Anyway,
there. Yeah. Are we interrupting, Mike? Sorry.
No, I got so excited.
Into games.
I got so excited. I went to go and find look through my Chinese film collection, but I can't see it, so I'll have to add it. Having said that, I am quite partial to foreign language movie with subtitles, so I will. There was that period where everybody was watching the Japanese ones, like The Eye and The Ring and all those. So maybe I will check it out. What did you say it was called again, Shaun?
Well, just to keep it tied in with games, I think I'd like to see them make a game based off it. It's
fine.
Train to Busan, B-U-S-A-N.
All right,
Train
cool.
to Busan.
Check it
Really
out.
cool.
Okay, now that we're getting off topic, I think it's time for the retro section.
Way, which I didn't know I was.
There's the theme tune again.
Right.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know I was doing this till today. But I've had a wee think on the way here. It mainly boiled down to, again, what is retro, because I was like, is this retro enough? Is it old enough? But I think that we decided last week that PS2 and Xbox and everything, they're old enough now. So I've gone with, to try and bring Xbox back in our memories, to be a little happier with it, with Microsoft when they were good at some point. Oh, I know, I'm sorry.
We're really
Microsoft.
cutting deep
We really
into
are.
Xbox
I'm
now.
really sorry. Because I loved the original Xbox, and this one is called Jade Empire. Did anyone play it?
Jade Empire.
BioWare.
Oh,
I never played it, but I know about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
It's one of those ones that, like, when BioWare, sorry again to lay into them, but when they were good too, they were really good at this point.
We do enjoy games, by the way.
We really do. I really, really do. I loved BioWare games. And this kind of was in the same vein as like Knights of the Old Republic in the way that it was like an action RPG, but this one was refreshing in the sense that it wasn't turn-based. I don't mind about turn-based, but this was proper, like, you used the right buttons, and you got to pick powers and things. Basically, I thought it came out in 2005, but actually I've googled it and it was 2007, which
That's not retro.
was 10 years ago, and I'm like, I was so young then though, which is crazy. I didn't even get ID'd for buying it, and that's how old in the past this was, when people would just believe you when you said you were an age and they asked, because I was too young to buy it. So sorry for game staff that might have got in trouble there. Basically, it is set in China. I can't remember what year in China. Quite far in the past.
What time was the
China.
Jade Empire? What time was that?
I don't know if this was a real.
I'm going to say it was 2,000 years ago.
Are we good? I'm gonna Google this.
I'll do it for you. You keep talking, I'll Google for you, don't worry.
Yeah, when was it set and stuff? But it's got a really, really lovely soundtrack. You'll hear like the music as soon as you like get into the menu, and I've sat and just listened to the menu before because it's so beautiful. And the story kind of is you are you've been raised by this like master martial arts guy in a lovely little town in the middle of nowhere, and things suddenly go very wrong for you and your kind of adoptive sister, who was also raised by him. She's called Dawn Star. The place gets attacked all of a sudden, and your master turns out to not be who you thought he was. He's not just a simple master, he's actually very important, and you kind of have to go on this journey to meet like the Emperor, and along the way you come across a very big variety of really interesting characters. You've obviously kind of got your own choice whether you're kind of good or bad. You get kind of powers. It's not so much like magic powers really though. Like I can just remember just the combat was really good because I always got this power that was like, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like claw. It was like Wolverine kind of claws would come out of my hands, and it was really fast. I would just kind of, my character was like a really fast one, so I'd start about scratching people, and it was really, 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 really fun that way. And you've got like choices and everything like that. You can decide who you take with you and who you're friends with, and it's just great. It's a really, really nice RPG. It's really simple as well, but if you're into RPGs, you'll still really like it. So for me, I was like amazed that there was just never a second one. I know there was talk of it, but it just never seemed to happen, and I could not for the life of me understand why, because I enjoyed it so much, and it's just amazing. It's really, really good.
We'll see a sequel.
I've been waiting for so long for this sequel because they could do it, definitely. I think that they could expand, like they had this whole portion of history that they could just go with, and it just was so good.
Dreams can come true. Yes,
I don't know.
Interesting fact for you. Sorry, interesting fact. Back in the day, when they used to do trade jade back in China, they used to wear shades, because what the traders realised was, if you were looking at something and you were excited by it because it was a good bit of jade, your pupils would dilate. So they quickly learned that they could tell if someone was interested in buying the jade or not. So they started wearing shades to stop them seeing their eyes. There you go.
That's very interesting.
I find it funny. Yeah. See, when you were describing that game, when you were talking about the clawing and all that, my mind just imagined Mass Effect characters, Knights of the Old Republic combined with Sonic Unleashed. I'm like, why is my brain doing this?
The greatest game ever.
Oh yes.
So I had a look.
Jade Empire right there. So
tried to figure out the kind of when it might be set, and
wait. Can we guess and see how close we
I
get?
don't think this is going to be good.
I mean, you can guess, but given the scale, you're likely to be right, because it's fictional China. It's set in, and it says
Olden
when
days.
It says Dynasty China. Now the dynasties ran for do you know?
Oh my god! Which dynasty?
2070 BC to 1912 AD. So it was sometime within those 4,000 years it was set.
We could guess probably fairly accurately by the fact that at one point in the game, you come across an Englishman, I believe, who's travelling, and that's like the first one that anyone seems to have seen her in these parts, and he has a gun. I think it's an early gun of some kind, but he does have a gun because I fought him, and it was like, whoa!
Was it a gun in his pocket?
Right, so...
Got it out.
Interestingly, the firearm was invented in China. So, I've looked up when the first British person to go to China was. When do you think that was?
Oh, good God.
Well, have you been dynasties? Let me just think this.
Right, I am Was it Victorian times or before that?
Before
No, before that. God.
1693.
I was going to say 16 something as
You
well.
copy me.
No, it's because that's when everyone started going. That's when all the people were going to America.
1693,
And that,
I'm going to
wasn't
say.
it?
Okay, so we're around about the kind of 16th century. So slightly before that, there's lots of reports of the first time that there's been recorded journals of people from Britain going to China and having a proper kind of, adventure, as it were. So I think, judging by the screenshots and the fact it's completely fictional, I think you're absolutely spot on.
Yes.
There we go.
I mean, you're probably not, but I'm just saying that
This
because
episode has
there's
been
no idea.
riddled with things that are not actually game knowledge.
So, Kat,
May not be a
what
fact.
age is this game, if I may ask?
It was a 15, and I was 14 when I bought it.
It looks great, by the way.
I find this crazy because...
Does it still look good, Mike?
It still looks
look
good. Yeah, it still looks good. It looks very passable. Like you could easily play that now, and not be too kind of
No,
worried
you
about the
wouldn't
kind
be
of
put
graphics.
off about the graphics or anything.
No, not
like
at
that.
all.
The music would make you feel really good. And also, my character, the one I always picked, well, there was two, because they're pre-made kind of avatar type thing. They're pre-made characters, but you obviously get to like choose the skills and everything like that for them. But the two that I always picked, they were always girl ones. One of them had a ribbon in her hair that would blow in the wind, which I loved. And the other one had cool things like on her arms and stuff that also blew in the wind.
Tassels.
It was a lot of like ribbony things, and I was loving the fact that they just blew in the wind. It was really cool to me. I really, really liked that. So
Can I say as well that the average review was 89 out of 100 when you take them all
wow.
together, and 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 10, very common. So very well reviewed game too. Unlike my one last week, which was about a 6.7 or something.
yeah, well, I don't
Yeah, let's not get into
want
that.
to recommend any bad games to you guys. So
If you're listening, let us know, would you want to see a sequel to Jade Empire? And what would you like to see on what
I
console?
would.
let's start a
just
petition, everybody.
Just from what you've said, I'd be pretty keen to kind of to play a sequel of the game. Sounds great.
It's such a classic. It's just like classic RPG, like story formula. So like by now, if you've played a lot of RPGs, you can probably kind of guess what's happening and what's gonna happen and stuff. But there are so many different side stories and really fun, interesting characters. I'm pretty sure they're like pirates at one point. There's like a little girl. There's a character you meet who looks like a little girl, but has actually got like two demons inside of her. One of them's really good and one of them's really bad. And over the course of how you interact with this demon that talks through her, one of them, like the bad one, can take over her body and kill her.
Is that no normal having demons inside the body?
Or you can work with the good one to like get rid of the bad one from being inside her and stuff. But it's really good because during a fight, if you got her along with you, she'll transform into this big demon.
Now, you know, it's
pretty cool.
BioWare is sitting there saying, right, Michael wants this one. Get the team, quick!
Well, I
We've got one
hope
person
that
wants it,
they
team.
listen, because they really should listen to me more often. And I think the Mass Effect would have been saved a long time ago if BioWare had just
Fools.
kept on listening
Fools
to
that they
me.
were.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. You know who to ask next time, BioWare, if you're listening.
Yes.
That's about it. Just before we go, Shaun, just remind people how they can get in touch with us and how they can like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Small Fry coming at your wazoo. You can go onto Facebook, all our
That
social
sounds like
media.
a type of fish or something.
All our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus and all that jazz. Just to let you know as well, when you listen to this, the first episode of Games Lounge Series 3 will be live. Check it out on YouTube, let us know what you think about it. We've got loads of different things in there, so we've got PlayStation VR Frank, he's joining us. We've got our chat section, we've got our first ever review, proper review, video review by Connor, and guess what it's based on? The Legend of Zelda.
Oh.
So you can check that out and let us know what you think about it. But yeah, jump on there, leave us some comments, and remember, whatever you sent us, we'll try and give a shout out in the show, or we'll answer your comments and questions and stuff.
I heard you've got a brilliant
If you
theme
don't
tune
come
to
up
that
with
as well.
any ideas of comments for us, we just want engagement. So if you want to send us a photo of your cute animal, we would appreciate that.
Animal, make sure you heard that right.
Animal, yeah. I just want to see your dogs. That's all I want. So
That
send
could
them
have
to
been
us.
bad. That could have been so bad.
Dogs. Perfect.
Awesome,
I wanna see your
awesome,
cats.
and I hear you've got a brilliant theme tune as well. So hopefully that'll be lots of comments about how great that is. Right, so that's it for.
I'm missing something, or just write the theme tune. All right, there you go.
Exposed.
Gave the game away. Gave the game away. All right, then, episode 12, that's it. We're back next week for the lucky number 13 episode.
We're finally a teenager.
And also to talk more about games, I guess.
Next
week.
Next week we're going to be focusing solely on The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh, don't even.
I'm joking.
Don't even. I'll be sick next week.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay,
have
who knows?
all your
Who
favourite
knows?
games.
Brilliant. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for liking, subscribing, listening, and we'll be back in a week's time. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.